Some more fall foliage for you. Check that out. A lot of people with sunglasses on the store. Front of stores love people with sunglasses. Hey guys, DJ Wonder Chrissy. And we're outside today. There was a lot of birds around here yesterday during the day. We're in a migration path, and they say there's a lot of birds that have been migrating. I need to put some more bird seed out there. They're hitting it hard, but there was birds galore in the front yard and the trees yesterday, just making some noise. I hear a few today, but the squirrels are out and they're getting ready for winter like we all should. So today I'm going to talk about financial preparing, because you know that 60 to 70% of people do not have an emergency fund. And if you've watched any of the financial videos, there's some out there. If you check, we have a playlist. There's like a Schwamsy playlist where there's a lot of financial videos that you can use. But there's just so many people that are not financially prepared or spent any time thinking about it. So today I'm going to walk you through kind of like the first step, right? First or second step, you get out of debt as much as you can, realizing if you got a house and a mortgage, that's good debt, okay? As long as you got a house that you can afford and you're making payments on it, that's good debt, that's okay. The biggest part about financial preparedness, and I've got props today too, is you start out with a small little envelope, right? This is your financial emergency fund right here. When you start out, it's a nice little envelope, and you've got some pennies in there, right? Look at that. We got some pennies and quarters. That's how you start out, and you need to grow this, right? So you go from this, and then you get into this. Okay, you get a bigger one. This is what you need to do. You need to go from this to this. Okay? And when I say emergency fund, it's cash in the savings account. It's cash in your 401k. It's cash in your Roth IRA. If you don't have a Roth IRA and you're working, you're a fool. Look into that. I mean, that's free money from Uncle Sam pretty much. A lot of people go with the IRAs because you can get the deduction right away, but you're going to pay taxes on that when you start taking that money out. Roth IRA, free money from Uncle Sam. If you're not putting the max in on that every year, you've got problems. Okay, so you need to go from this to this. And then ultimately, I want you to come up with a little bit of a emergency fund that's this big. Yeah, you should have, if you're over 45, 50, you should have an emergency fund that's like this. Okay? And this is why it's important. This is why the emergency fund is the foundation of financial success. Because once you have something like this, and you want to buy a house, you can open it up and you can take a little bit out and you can make your down payment, okay? Or if you need to buy a car, the way I buy a car, and this is where a lot of people lose it. When you have an emergency fund like this, you need to buy a car, you don't dip into your emergency fund. No. You go to the bank and you get a loan. And so what if you're paying 6 to 7% for a car loan? If you have the money already in your emergency fund for that car, should you lose your job, you need to pay off that car, you can get it out of your emergency fund. And maybe it's in the stock market and it's making 10%, or if you got it in CDs, you're getting 5%, so you're only losing like 2 to 3%. That's okay, because Cash is king right now, folks. In this environment, as we just talked about, 60-70% of the people don't have an emergency fund. That's cash. Emergency fund, a lot of that's cash. So cash is king, and it buys you options, folks. That's the point that I'm trying to make, and why you should have a little emergency fund, big emergency fund, as quickly as you can, because it buys you options. So when the refrigerator breaks down like we had a month ago, you can dip into that emergency fund and pay for that refrigerator. You don't need to put it on your credit card and pay 20%. Or you do the smart thing, which I do. I pay off my credit cards every month, right? That's the smart way to do it. I use someone else's money for 30 days and then I pay it off. That's the smart way of doing it. If you have an emergency fund, big emergency fund, you can do that. So you live off of someone else's money for 30 days. You just need to condition yourself to only buy things that you need and that you need to have, like food, clothing that's reasonable. You don't go to Armani and start buying Armani suits every other month. Be reasonable, folks. A lot of people don't think about their financial situation. They let the financial part of their life manage them. You need to manage your money, and not, because if you don't, your money will manage you. That's a given. I see that all the time when you ask people about their retirement or what it is they have for the goals in their life, and they haven't even thought about how they're going to get there financially. So as I said before, you should have a Roth IRA, and I think you could put $15,000 into a Roth IRA every year. That's a good start. That's a good start, folks. I'm here to tell you that the reason that I was able to retire early was I was a good saver. I saved, probably maxed out on my savings for many, many years, and had some good years in the stock market, had some bad years too, but I managed my money. That's how I was able to do it. And I'm here to tell you guys that's how you can do it. But you have to want to manage your money and not allow your money to manage you. It's simple. It is simple. It's nothing more than discipline, but there's a lot of people that are undisciplined and they don't even want to spend time thinking about it or doing quarterly portfolio checkups and things of that nature. When your investment portfolio gets to a certain extent, you need to spend more time. You need to spend like 2-3 hours a quarter looking at it and making sure that everything is okay, or pay a financial advisor. But you got to start here, right? You got to start here, and as quickly as you can, I suggest that you get to this point where you have a bigger emergency fund. So when bad things happen, right? Bad things happen to good people all the time. You got this. You got this to back you up. You got this that'll make you sleep at night. And you'll have this that a large majority of people don't have, right? We just said earlier, 60 to 70% don't have or only have $400 in reserve. That's nothing, right? $400, phew, that's like a month and a half of groceries. Your refrigerator goes out. We just paid $1,000 for a refrigerator. Talk about if you got a car, brake job's probably $400 or $500 at least now. Set of tires, that's going to cost you $600-700. So as I said, get out of debt. When I say debt, get out of credit card debt, get ahead on your bills, or at least be up to speed on your bills. And start budgeting your money. Spend less than you make. And as the old saying goes, it's not how much you make, it's how much you save. That's what it's all about, folks. You can make $40,000 to $50,000 a year and be a millionaire in 10 to 15 years. We'll talk about that some other time, but there's some truth behind that. If you save 15% of your income on a yearly basis, and you make $40,000 to $50,000, which is an average income, in a matter of 10 to 20 years, you can be a millionaire, folks. I'll show you one of these days. Okay, so I'm past my time limit here, so I hope you guys learned something. I hope you already have this. But if not, time is running short, folks. Our economy is collapsing all around. The banks are writing off bad debt left and right. They're going to be collapsing real soon. So get prepared, and talk to you later. DJ Wonder Chrissy over and out.